Hey y'all, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Amber and I love all things handbag related, with a little bit of emphasis on the brands Vera, Bradley, and Lug. I also occasionally, but rarely, do some content related to concealed carry and how that works with all of these beautiful bags that I love. So if any of that sounds good to you, then stick around and let's hang out. Today's video I'm going to try to do really quickly. I am just going to give y'all an update on my thoughts and opinions about the new Featherweight Crossbody. And then after that, I'm going to show you what fits in the IHKWIP Mini Tote. I had a request from one of my subscribers who very kindly asked me to please show that, what would fit inside that bag, because she was really interested in it. And so I said, yeah, of course, I'll be more than happy to do that. So I'm going to smack these two together in one video. So I'm going to shut up now and let me grab the Featherweight Crossbody and we'll get into my thoughts on it. Okay, so here's the Featherweight Crossbody. So I recently unboxed this, or not unboxed it, I recently showed this on my channel. I gave y'all my first impressions of it and whatnot, and I've been using it for about 3 days now. Yeah, 3 or 4 days now. And I know that doesn't sound like a huge amount of time, but in that amount of time, I have been out with it quite a few times. I have been taking it back and forth with me when I take my daughter to school and pick her up. I've been to the grocery store with it. I've been to the gas station with it. I've ran various errands with it. I have had it on my body for a couple of hours at a time. So I do feel like I have a pretty good feel for this bag and my likes and dislikes and overall opinion of it now. So that's what I'm going to just kind of get into and tell y'all today, since this is such a new style. So, first and foremost, I have to say I have mixed feelings on this bag now. Now that I've had a chance to really use it, I am not 100% sure if I would tell you I like it more or I dislike it more. I think I would still say I like it more so than I dislike it, but there are things about it that I just simply don't like. Let's do some of the good things first. I like the way this material feels. Think about a nice quality puffer jacket, and that's what this is, wholeheartedly. This is the ultralight material, if you are familiar with that from the factory outlet side of Vera Bradley. And if not, just think about a puffer jacket, and that's what you're getting here. It is puffer jacket material. So it's very smooth, it feels nice to your hands. It's soft, it's plushy, it feels nice. It also molds to your body very well. But that kind of comes in with the fact that this bag has zero structure whatsoever. So I like the material and I dislike it. And I know that's contradictory and doesn't make a ton of sense, but I like the way it feels. I like the fact that it's soft and it's smooth and it's comfortable and it's plushy, but at the same time it has zero structure whatsoever. So I've noticed when I put my items in here, I've shown y'all how I kind of just line my items up, and typically that's for the most part how they'll stay in my handbag, not in this one. When you put your items inside this bag, just be prepared that they are going to go wherever they want to go. Essentially, this bag, where it has no structure, it turns into a little football blob. Just a little blobby football shaped thing. And your items will go wherever they see fit to go as you move your bag around, carry it, use it, sling it, whatever it is that you do with your bag. If that bothers you, just be aware that will happen. Another thing that I can tell you I actually like that I wasn't sure I would in the beginning is these little side cinches. And the reason that I found that I like them is because where this bag has no structure at all, when the cinches are out, let me just go ahead and undo that. I kind of tied them so they weren't so floppy, but let me show you. So when the cinches are out, the bag has all this extra space around the items that, or if you don't have the bag completely filled up, then there's a lot of extra space in there because this is a large bag. And so with all that extra space inside here, if you don't have it completely full, it starts to make a really kind of funky shape. Like when you pick it up, it just bends wherever it wants to bend. I've been throwing it on my shoulder a lot, so the straps come together closer, and if it's sitting down and I go to put it on my shoulder, it just turns into that little football-y blob. If you wear it crossbody, you know, it pulls the straps out more so it's not as blobby, but you're just gonna have this unstructured, kind of shapeless bag. Now, when you pull the cinches in like I had them, it kind of takes all of that unused space in a little bit, and it just kind of molds the bag a bit more to the shape of the items that you have inside. It just doesn't leave all of that extra fabric kind of loosey-goosey to go wherever it wants, I guess you might say. And so I found that I actually kind of like that a little bit, simply because it takes the blob from so much of a blob and gives it a little bit of shape. Not a ton by any means, because it is still just a blob, but it does give it a little bit more shape. But when I do that, it also wants to bend right in the middle, so I find myself just kind of smushing it down and letting it do its little blobby thing. But it doesn't look as big and as shapeless necessarily, I guess, when the cinches are pulled in a little bit, if that makes sense. It gives it a little bit more of a rounded look to the bottom, and it just, I guess it kind of gives it more of a streamlined look to me, as opposed to just the big crazy blob. So I do like the little cinches, and I didn't think that I would necessarily. One thing I really dislike is this strap. And it's not so much that it's uncomfortable, because it's winter time here. I've been wearing, you know, jackets and sweaters a lot, so this strap hasn't come into contact with my body, so I can't tell you that it's been uncomfortable necessarily. It's just a very stiff strap. It doesn't have, I mean, it has movement to it, obviously, but, you know, it's just more of a rigid strap. And I've noticed that it gets twisted a lot on this bag. Nearly every time I go to pick it up, the strap has been twisted. So it's just kind of annoying, but I can't say necessarily that it's uncomfortable, if that makes sense. I like the fact that this is pretty much waterproof. I think they state on the website that this is water repellent or water resistant. I live in Kentucky, and we have had some absolute torrential downpours lately, and I've been carrying this bag. All of my items inside have been perfectly fine. I've even been throwing my phone just inside the bag, the main area of the bag, and letting it float around in there with all my other stuff, and everything was completely fine. It was completely rainproof. Nothing soaked in, so I do really appreciate that feature. The zipper is smooth. It is a chunky kind of plastic zipper, but it is very smooth. It has not snagged on me at all. I like the fact that you can fit anything you want inside this bag, because ultimately it is huge. However, the dimensions online are listed as like 11.5 by 11.75, I think, by 3.5, if I'm remembering correctly. And once you actually get items inside that bag, that is just not the case at all. Once you put your items inside, this goes from a bag that's about this tall, and it shrinks way down because it puffs out. And you can see like how wide it is. And it's because where this bag is lacking in all structure, when you put your items inside, they are all going to kind of just fall to the bottom, and this fabric is just going to continue to fall outward to allocate space for your items. Unless you very intentionally have very tall vertical items that you place in here just so, and somehow manage to kind of shore them up against one another. I don't know how you could stop that from happening, because it's just the nature of this fabric that it's just going to give. And whatever you have in here, it's just going to continue to push it out the more that you have in here. So you're still going to have the same, length, but your height, the more that you put in here, your height is going to shrink and your depth is going to increase. And that's why I say it's just kind of like a little football-y type blob. So overall, my thoughts on this bag. I like it. I can see situations where this bag would be great to use. If you were going to maybe like a festival with your kids and you needed to carry a little bit more with you maybe, but you wanted to take a bag that if it did rain, or if it did get a little bit of food spilt on it, or if it did get some mud splashed up on it, you wanted to have a bag that you knew you could just wipe off, that was pretty well weatherproof and all of that proof, this would be a great bag for a situation like that. A bag to take to the park with your kids, this would be great for that. This is not a bag I would take out with me all day shopping. It is a large bag. It can get very heavy because it can hold a tremendous amount of stuff. And especially if that were in the summertime, I just don't think this particular strap would be comfortable all day long. I wish that they would have attached this strap with quick release clips. Like if they would have just given us, as much as I hate the plastic features that, or the plastic fixtures that they put on these type of bags, the ultralight type bags, I would have preferred to have that so that I could take this strap off and put my own strap on. And I think I would have liked this bag so much more if I could change this strap out. Because like I said, thus far, it's not that it's been uncomfortable. It's just, it gets twisted all the time and it's very stiff. It's a very stiff strap. It likes to get twisted. It's just not my favorite. It does adjust very easily, and thus far it has not slid out of place for me once I have adjusted it. So it does have that going for it. It definitely hasn't moved, but it is very easy to adjust. So there are things that I do really like and appreciate about this bag, and I can absolutely see certain situations where this bag would be great to use. But as far as an everyday bag for me personally, this is not it. I like a bag with a little bit more structure so that when I put my items inside of it, they're not just going to start swimming around. I'm going to know where things are. And I like a bag that kind of maintains its shape a little bit more so that it actually looks like the bag that I started with, as opposed to transforming into the little football blob. But yeah, as far as a bag that you could take out in nearly any weather, that you don't have to worry about, that's gonna hold everything that you need it to hold, and then way more than that, yeah, this bag is great for that. Just be aware that it is shapeless. It is not going to maintain any structure or shape. It has a strap that's not going to be for everyone. And it also doesn't have a lot of organization. There are no slip pockets inside the bag. You just have one zip pocket. You have one little zip pocket on the front right here. And the internal zip pocket and the outside zip pocket share a wall. So if you want to use both of those, then they may fight for space, or your items inside may fight for space. But yeah, I'm glad I bought it. I'm glad I tried it. I will definitely keep it in my collection because, as I said, I have kids. I know that there are situations and instances that we may be in that this bag will be useful. So yeah, I'm definitely going to keep it. But I'm also changing out of it tonight because it's just not a bag that I want to carry every single day. So that is my kind of overview on this bag now that I've had a few days to use it and really try it out. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, I can't sing its praises because I don't think that there is anything truly spectacular about it. So I hope that was helpful if anybody else was, just wondering how it was working out for me. So I want to move this out of the way, and I want to grab the IHKWIP Mini Tote, and then we will pack that up, and I will show y'all what fits inside. Okay, so if you're unfamiliar, this is the bag that I'm talking about. This is the IHKWIP Mini Tote in the military green color. I absolutely love this bag. I have raved about it several times already on my channel. It is a mini tote style bag. It comes with the 2 shorter grab handles right here and a longer adjustable removable crossbody strap. So I'm going to set this over here. I'm going to show you all of the items. I'm going to show you all of the items I have pulled out for today's demonstration, and then we will get packing. So, as per usual, I've got a variety of sizes, shapes, and objects here. So again, I have a mini travel umbrella in Hope Blooms. I have a 16.9 ounce standard bottle of water. I have this little mini dome sized clear cosmetic that I shoved a t-shirt in because I couldn't be bothered to find stuff right now. For a large wallet option, I have pulled out my Audrey wallet in Roomba, and I absolutely love Roomba Grid. I wish they would bring bags out in this. I would buy them all. I have my phone case to simulate my phone. Mini trapeze in Prairie Paisley. Mints. My trusty dusty tissue case. Cough drops, because I have needed those like crazy lately. I already said mints. My coin purse. My other little cosmetic thingamajiggy. My clip and zip, which is my wallet right now. My keys with the featherweight keychain on, which I really like this actually. This is a packable, the little packable tote. I can't remember what it's actually called, but it was in one of the online outlet sales. And my little keepsake pill case. So I have a variety of items. So let's scoot these over here and we'll start packing. So this little tote will hold a very decent amount of items. I don't know that I'll be able to get all of this in here, but we're going to give it a go. So generally speaking, when I do these kind of like little what fits demonstrations, I don't put much, if anything at all, in exterior pockets or interior pockets. Because if we're looking at maximum capacity, you're going to get the most if you don't use the pockets. Because when you use your pockets, you start getting things sticking out into the interior, and it makes lumps and bumps, and it will eat up your interior space, right? But for this particular bag, if you can see right there on the bottom, this outside zip pocket has its own little gusset. This bag has a really decent amount of space in this exterior pocket. So I am actually going to put several things out here. Now, this pocket features like 10 RFID card slots, and then it has another little slip pocket right here that holds their little touchless tool. I'm just going to leave that in there. And then in this outside pocket, I would probably put my phone. And it would probably fit vertically, but I'm just going to turn it horizontally. So I'm going to put my phone in there. I'm going to put the mints. I'm going to put the cough drops. I am going to put the keys. So let me redo this. I would go keys first, probably. Then mints, cough drops, phone. I don't guess it really matters. I would just put those items in that outside pocket. Again, because it has quite a bit of its own space. And you could rearrange those to get the little lumps out, but I would absolutely fill that outside pocket full because it's there, so why not? Now on the inside, I'm not going to do that, minus one pocket, one little section. And that is this little elastic pocket right here. In the advertisements for this bag, they say that that pocket is perfect for a water bottle. Now, in my experience, a water bottle will go in there, but it doesn't. It's a little bit tall for this bag. So I'm going to show you that really quickly. Other than that, we have a zip pocket on the back and 2 slip pockets that go on the front wall of the bag, but I'm not putting anything in those. So here's our water bottle. And the top of that pocket does have a little bit of elastic to it, so you kind of have to pull it out to get the water bottle in there. Now, you can see it's in there, but it is very close to the top of the bag. And once you start putting your other items inside here, it's I don't know. I just don't think it's the perfect fit because you can see it's literally right at the top. However, if you take this out of that pocket and just set it inside the bag, it sits down inside there just much better out of the pocket. So what I tend to do is just not use the pocket. So there's the water bottle, and then I'm going to even it out with the mini umbrella on this side. Alright. Now, the big wallet, I'm going to show you how it fits in here, but I'm not going to keep it in here. So, vertically, it fits, it will zip. Horizontally, it fits, it would zip. But, just for right now, I'm going to pull it back out and use some of these other items. Okay, so we have the water bottle and the mini umbrella in there, and they're wanting to fall down. So let me get some other stuff in here to keep them standing up. So that was the mini trapeze. There's our clip and zip. I'm just going to drop the little medicine case down in there. There's the coin purse, my tissue case. Here is this one. Let me rearrange that. Oh, I already had you stand up. Okay. Where are we at? Okay. There's the little packable tote. So, let me show you what we got going so far. So we have the water bottle, the clip and zip. There's our little packable tote, the cosmetic, the mini trapeze. I don't have anything in there yet. We have the umbrella over here, the tissue case, the coin purse, and the little medicine thing are all right in here. So the last thing that I had pulled out, or the last 2 things, were the large wallet, which we have this so full right now that the large wallet's not going to go. But if you use a large wallet, it will fit. So other than that, we have this little domed case. So let me pull this out. Let's put that in there. And let's put this back. Let's see where we're at. Yep, we're still zipping perfectly fine. Let me find a couple more small items and we'll see what we can throw on top. Alright, so, excuse me, I grabbed a couple more small items. Let me give you an overview again. So I'm going to pull the little packable shopper tote thing out for just a second and give you another look inside here. I'm going to turn it this way. So we have the umbrella, the mini trapeze, the clear dome, the water bottle, the clip and zip. Somewhere in here we have the little pill case, or the little keepsake I've been using, my tissue case, the clip and zip, the coin purse is down here. So we have a lot in here so far. So, little cream saver mints, we'll just shove in the hole there. Pack of tissues will go in here, no problem. Here's my little AirPods case from the factory outlet with the little pig I keep on it. The little pig is so funny. His eyes pop out. I thought he was hilarious. So, the little AirPods case and the little packable tote I am just going to throw on top. So you can see everything in there. Again, I'm just going to lay these on top of all of that. Alright. And she still zips. Whoops, I didn't realize I had it backward. I apologize. But she still zips. So you can see, I mean, she's pretty full. We have that front pocket full. But let's pull everything out again, and I'll show you everything I had packed in here just to give you kind of a refresher, because this does hold a lot. So, again, the large size, full size, like Continental wallet will fit, no problem. So let's start in this outside pocket. Again, this is where I would have my phone. I had cough drops, mints, and my big chunk of keys just in this outside pocket. Now into the inside, I had my AirPods case with my little pig, the packable shopper tote, the mini trapeze that is full, the clear like little mini dome that is full, pack of tissue, my tissue case that also has tissues in it, cream savers, my clip and zip mini pouch, which is my wallet, coin purse, the little keepsake with my medication in it, the little bandana cosmetic that is also full, a mini travel umbrella, and a full bottle of water. That was all inside of this little mini tote. And this is a great size, you guys. You can see like up against my body, it is not a huge bag. It's not overwhelming, but it still holds an absolute ton. So if I pull these back to give you a little bit better view of everything, you can see all the stuff that I had inside there. So this bag, again, will hold everything you need it to and then some. Let me try that again. So I hope that was helpful for you. I hope that gave you a pretty good idea of what you can get inside there. If you have any more questions, feel free to leave another comment or send me an email, and I'll be more than happy to help you out to the best of my ability. So I hope y'all have enjoyed this video. I hope that if you were wanting a little bit more information about anything, that I was able to help you out. Or if you were just trying to kill a little bit of time, I hope it was a little bit entertaining for you. If y'all have any comments, questions, or you just want to say hello, then as always, please leave me a message down below, because I love to chat with you guys. And until next time, if you've been feeling the vibe, then hit subscribe. Bye, y'all.